Well, it comes to us all, I suppose. No gunplay. You two will be in and out so quickly you won't know what's happening. A piece of cake." He took several stacks of $100 bills from the briefcase and put them on the bar counter. 10,000. Do we deal? And greed, as usual, won the day as Pierre ran his hands over the money. "Yes, my friend. I think we do." "Good. I'll be back at 11 then." Dillon closed his briefcase. Gaston went and unlocked the door for him, and the Irishman left. Gaston closed the door and turned. "What do you think?" Pierre poured 2 cognacs. "I think our friend Rocard is a very big liar. But also a very dangerous man," Gaston said. "So what do we do?" "Wait and see." Pierre raised his glass. "Salut." Dillon walked all the way to the warehouse in Rue de Hellier, twisting from one street to another, melting into the darkness occasionally to check that he wasn't being followed. He had learned a long time ago that the problem with all revolutionary political groups was that they were riddled with factions and informers, a great truth where the IRA was concerned. Because of that, as he had indicated to Arun, he preferred to use professional criminals whenever possible, when help was needed. Honest crooks who did things for cash. That was the phrase he'd used. Unfortunately, he didn't always hold true, and there had been something in Big Pierre's manner. There was a small Judas gate set in the larger double doors of the warehouse. He unlocked it and stepped inside. There were 2 cars, a Renault Saloon and a Ford Escort, and a police BMW motorcycle covered with a sheet. He checked that it was all right, then moved up the wooden stairs to the flat in the loft above. It was not his only home. He also had a barge on the river, but it was useful on occasions. On the table in the small living room there was a canvas holdall with a note on top that simply said, "As ordered." He smiled and unzipped it. Inside was a Kalashnikov PK machine gun, the latest model. Its tripod was folded, the barrel off for easy handling, and there was a large box of belt cartridges, a similar box beside it. He opened a drawer in the sideboard, took out a folded sheet, and put it in the holdall. He zipped it up again, checked the Walter in his waistband, and went down the stairs, the holdall in one hand. He locked the Judas and went along the street, excitement taking control as it always did. It was the best feeling in the world when the game was in play. He turned into the main street, and a few minutes later hailed a cab and told the driver to take him to Le Chat Noir. They drove out of Paris in Renault vans, exactly the same except for the fact that one was black and the other white. Gaston led the way, Dillon beside him in the passenger seat, and Pierre followed. It was very cold. Snow still mixed with the rain, although it wasn't lying. They talked very little, Dillon lying back in the seat, eyes closed, so that the Frenchman thought he was asleep. Not far from Choisy, the van skidded, and Gaston said, "Christ almighty," and wrestled with the wheel. Dillon said, "Easy, the wrong time to go in the ditch. Where are we?" "Just past the turning to Choisy. Not long now." Dillon sat up. The snow was covering the hedgerows, but not the road. Gaston said, "It's a pig of a night. Just look at it." "Think of all those lovely dollar bills," Dillon told him. "That should get you through." It stopped snowing. The sky cleared, showing a half moon, and below them at the bottom of the hill was the red light of the railway crossing. There was an old disused building of some sort at one side, its windows boarded up, a stretch of cobbles in front of it lightly powdered with snow. "Pull in here," Dillon said.